What most of these pages fail to put on these kind of videos is the actual information. They just grab whatever they could find online, put it together, misinformation or not, and hope that it gets views. This user probably made some pretty significant money off of misinformation of my family legacy, with the 10 million views they got on this video. What every single video I've seen like this has left out, and maybe they won't in the future now that I'm correcting it if this ever gets any traction, is my uncle was put on the board of directors of Food and Quality Control back when Brown and Massey had ownership of Kentucky Fried Chicken. They were the original owners that bought it from 1964. And it's very misleading to the general public when they're watching these things to understand that the people who own it now are not the people who bought it, and the people who sued the colonel are not the people who bought it from him. Brown and Massey had their share of getting into arguments with the colonel. Uncle Harley did not like the changes that they made. He did not like the new franchising agreements, the fees. He did not like how they were treating the franchisees, and he would voice this opinion. He was especially livid when they moved Kentucky Fried Chicken headquarters to Tennessee in the early 1970s. But then it was moved back to Kentucky after Uncle Harley threatened to go on Johnny Carson and tell everybody how bad the food had become if they didn't move it back. So they ended up moving it back, and Massey resigned from his position. He already had several other restaurants under his wing. He was doing very good. He was a very good businessman. John Y. Brown Jr. put Uncle Harley on the board of directors of Food and Quality Control. This gave him more reign and responsibility over the company. He now could control the quality of the food. He could go into the restaurants and have the right to do so and tell people if they were doing it right or wrong. He could approve and disapprove of items that got put on the menu. Are you catching my drift here? So what originally was like $40,000 a year salary got bumped to $75,000 a year salary for the colonel to be the brand ambassador and on the board of directors of Food and Quality Control. So when Huel sued Uncle Harley, he wanted to see how much of his name and soul they owned. So he countersued them. And what he had a right to countersue for was the misuse of his name and image on products that he didn't approve of. And he accused them of changing the recipe. Because the original legal agreement that he made when he sold it is that they will not deviate from his quality. They would not deviate from his recipe. And because they decided to sue him for opening a restaurant called the Colonel's Lady, which was actually opened before Huel purchased it, Brown and Massey didn't have a problem with this restaurant being open. He countersued, and he was within his rights to do so because they were in violation of his agreements and his position as well. He wouldn't have sued them if they didn't sue him, but it's how it went down. They settled it. They paid him $1 million. He sold the restaurant, and he continued to do what he did best until he died.